Hello, my beautiful angels. We are back, episode 24, Who the Hell Did I Marry? So now we know that Talkies has gone missing, and somehow it has fallen onto my lap again that I am responsible for this diabolical man, even though he is the one that has caused me all of my heartache and just gnashing of teeth lately. So I start making the rounds calling people. I call Dino, I connect with him. He's like, look, this is what I know. He came home pissed from meeting you and Jordan. What am I going to do? He's my best friend and he lives with me. And I'm like, yes, he is your platonic husband or whatever. But you have been covering up for him and his cheating scandals. You knew that I was going to send him off the deep end, and you shouldn't have had him come and show up at my place because he spiraled. And he's like, well, what happened was Jordan really pissed him off, and then he got in his car. He came back home. He was mad. He went and got a bag there from the house that they had in their stash, and then he left without his phone. Dino said that he realized this because after Takis had been gone for like an hour or so, he was like, where is this guy? I need to see if he wants to eat some dinner or like get something to grab to eat. He was trying to call him, and then he realized that Takis' phone was in between the seats. So I'm like, okay, well, did you call Jordan? Maybe he went to his place to try to beat him up. He's like, I called Jordan. He's not there. I'm like, okay. So I'm like racking my brain with Dino. Again, why is this my responsibility? But as you guys know, even though he did all these dastardly things to me, I still cared about him as a person because yes, I am a human being. I'm trying to find this man. I call Maddie. She doesn't know where he is. She's already moved to Miami. So she's there like, girl, the last I heard about him was the other day he was talking to Maddie's man about a potential job in Miami. I'm like, oh, so he lost his job and now he's trying to sniff around in Miami to see if he can get a job there. She's like, yeah, but Dee, her husband, told him that he didn't have anything available. And also, I don't think that Dee wants to give him a job opportunity because he doesn't trust him now because of everything that he did. I'm like, well, at least there's one man that's loyal in this town. I'm calling all of our different friends. I'm checking in. And then I sit there and I'm thinking, okay, where would he be? Where would he be? And then I realize, where can you be that you can get fucked up and you can drink all day long and you can stay there and you can do all the copious activities and illicit things that you want? Yes. Remember that after hours club that I told you guys about where we ended up finding his cousin Maisie after hours and she was in the Kmart hole and she was there with all the 3 sheets to the wind Koreans? I realized that he was probably there. So I called the owner and I was like, hi. As soon as he answered, he goes, yes, Takis is here. And I was like, great, that's what I thought. And he goes, I was actually going to call you because I need you to come pick him up because he has passed out in my office and I need him to leave because I need to go see my wife and kids. And I'm like, okay. I called Dino. I'm like, look, Takis is at the office at the After Hours Club. Like, you can go pick his ass up. And he's like, all right, great. Now I can get on with my day and figure out all the things that I need to do to move on with my life and figure things out. I know he's going to go pick him up. So I'm trying to get the house together. I have already also started packing some things because I realized that I'm going to be making a move soon. I hadn't found my new place yet, but I knew that I was going to be moving, so I knew that I needed to start boxing things up. While I'm doing this, Jordan texts me and he's like, hey, it was really lovely seeing you last night. I'm really sorry about the drama that unfolded with Takis. And I called him and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, Gabi Moo. I'm like, yeah, so apparently Takis was missing. And he's like, oh yeah? I'm like, yes, he's been found though, so whatever. Crisis averted, we're all good. And he's like, okay, great. Not that I was worried or anything. I'm like, yeah, what happened last night when you guys were barking at each other? And he goes, well, basically we just yelled at each other. I told him he was a piece of shit and he told me to go fuck myself. And so then I just got in my car and went home. I'm like, oh, great. And he's like, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm just packing and doing stuff at home. And he's like, well, I'd really like to come and pick you up this evening and take you to a party with me. I'm like, okay, bet. He's like, yeah, it's a party that is being thrown by my partners at the Omni Hotel. I think it's gonna be really great. I think you're gonna have a good time. There's gonna be like a lot of like cool people there that you can meet that are in the industry. I'm like, great. The evening rolls around. I have not checked in on Dino on if Takis has been shooed away back to the house. I purposely did not ask because there was a moment where I was talking to one of my best friends in Texas and I was like, should I check and see that he made it home? And my friend was like, no, girl, like this man is not your responsibility or problem anymore. And you need to start getting into the mindset that he is not your problem. And I guess that is one of the biggest things, right? Is when you're with someone for such a long time and they become like part of your life and really just like your partner. That is one of the big things, is unfucking your mind to be unattached from this person and realizing, oh wait, I'm autonomous and I don't need to be concerned about this person because they're not my responsibility anymore. I don't have to worry about where they are, what they're doing. And that sort of moment, it was a little bit sad and sobering to me because I was like, wow, I'm actually single and I'm going to be a divorcee soon. Like I'm going to be about to be 24-year-old divorcee. Like this is crazy. And I'm like, but you know what? I have my whole life ahead of me, do the things that I want to do, live for myself. Like it did feel kind of good, right? I was starting to really rise up into feeling like I was going to be okay. So I didn't check up on Takis. The evening comes and Jordan is going to come pick me up. I wear this tight pink dress that had a low scooped back. It was like a little club dress because he told me to dress pretty sexy, and these tall ass heels. 8 p.m. rolls around and he comes and picks me up in his Bentley. I go downstairs and I greet him, and he was wearing a literal bow tie, you guys. I was kind of gave me the ick because I was like, that's a choice, with his skinny ass jeans that he keeps wearing and a bow tie with a button up. And he had shaved his facial hair into a mustache. Now, one thing about me, I am not a stash girl. I prefer clean shaven or like very, very small stubble. But like a full-on mustache, I cannot get behind this Burt Reynolds look unless you are ridiculously hot. Most men cannot pull off a mustache. Now, I understand that everyone has their preferences. This is just mine. He had shaved his fucking thing into like a little Charlie Chaplin mustache. I'm like, who are you, sir? This is not the vibe. But you know what? We're going to go out. I'm going to forget about talkies. It'll be a good time. He takes me to the Dream Hotel, which is below Beauty in Essex, and they had a private event going on. It was for like 2 of his partners with the Omni Hotel. We go, it's very nice. The way that it's shaped is the bottom bar, it's open. So it's open to Hollywood Boulevard. And then there's like a lot of chandeliers, there's the bar, and there's just like a lot of plush seating and everything. We're there, and it's all these like business dudes and like really beautiful looking model girls. There was like a couple models that I actually knew that were there that I caught up with. While I'm there, I see Jordan sneak off to the bathroom for a second while I was talking to someone else. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't care. He's not my man, right? I'm waiting for him, and I'm like, where is this man? I'm looking around for him because at this point I realized that I kind of want to leave because it's getting a little bit late now. So I'm like, okay, I want to tell him to like take me home. Like, it's been a good time, but obviously I just came out here to have fun with him, but I don't want him to try anything. So I'm walking back to the restaurant area to try to find him. A man comes up to me wearing a full blue ass suit, and his hair was like this, like, okay. He comes up, and I remember specifically that he was wearing this disgustingly yellow big chain necklace that looked so yellow gold that it almost looked fake. But he was rich and had like a Patek Philippe watch on, so I knew that he was clearly doing well. He comes up and he's like, hi. I'm like, hi. And he's like, you're Taki's wife, right? And I was like, ex-wife. And he was like, oh yeah, my name is, and we're gonna call him Stavi. He goes, oh, I'm Stavi. And I said, okay. And he goes, yeah, I actually do business with Takis. And I was like, you do how? And he goes, well, I actually work for the New York office of the restaurant that he is at. And I was like, oh, you mean the one that he's formerly at? And he goes, wait, what? I was like, you work at the New York sister restaurant of his LA restaurant. Don't you know that he's been let go? And he's like, oh, well, they don't tell us anything in New York yet about what's going on here. So I think the news just hasn't reached. And he's like, why? What happened? Like, are you guys moving? I was like, oh, you don't know that he literally cheated on me with like the youngest girl at his restaurant and probably many others? This man looks at me like I just told him that the world is going to end in 2 days. Like, he was like, what? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no. I know Takis, and I know how much he loves you because I trained with him in New York. Because remember, Takis had to go to New York to train over there whenever he was also sending flowers to someone out there, which we'll get to. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I know that he was obsessed with you. All he would talk about was his beautiful wife and how much he wanted to just work really hard because he wanted to give you the life that you deserved, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let me ask you something, Sabi. I look at his hand. He's clearly a married man. I'm like, you're clearly a married man. And he's like, yes, happily married. He's like, to the love of my life. I've been with her for 15 years. I'm like, I love that for you. Kudos to you. Amazing. We love a man that loves his wife. However, you also have kids, right? He's like, yes, I do. I said, have you ever cheated on your wife? He was like, I would never. Aleka is my joy. She is my one and only. I'm old school though. Like, I don't do that. I'm like, well, old school men still cheat on their wives. Let's be honest. And he's like, yeah, well, I have honor. And I believe Taki says too. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now, Taki's cheated on me. You can literally call the general manager who I had a meeting with and the whole team there, and they will let you know. And he's like, well, it must be some sort of misunderstanding, or like maybe you misunderstood. I'm like, is this man really trying to gaslight the past like few months that I've had where I've gone through all this detective work, gone through hours of my time spent like researching this? I'm like, no. Look, dude, I'm just going to show you these text messages. I have lots and lots of other proof, but I'm just going to show you this so you believe me. I show him the text with Veronica, and he's like, well, how do you know that those are Taki's text messages? I was like, I'm the one that found his watch. I took these photos. And he's like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe he would do that to you. Like, that man, when I met him, he was a man in love. He asked me while he was in New York visiting. Now, remember, this was a couple months before Taki's opened up the LA restaurant. He was like, he asked me about the best jeweler in New York because he wanted to bring something back for his wife for her. I'm like, and what'd you tell him? And he goes, I gave him my guy in Williamsburg. And he picked him out and helped him pick out like this beautiful diamond tennis bracelet. I said, that's really cool. Do you see a diamond tennis bracelet on my wrists right now? And he looks and he goes, no. And I said, yeah, Because clearly that diamond tennis bracelet wasn't for me. Now, you know what he did get me is this silver heart bracelet, which I had on, which is significantly a lot less expensive than diamonds. So he was buying some other fucking hoe diamonds, and it wasn't me. Now, he had bought me diamonds, but that diamond tennis bracelet was not for me. Y'all, I am finding out in real time from this man at the same time that this man is finding out that Takis in New York bought another girl a bracelet, and it wasn't for me. I'm literally looking at him, and he goes, I see. He goes, well, I'm really sorry about all this. I do have to go. I'm like, oh, so now you realize that your precious little Takis, little protege is not everyone he says. And he was like, look, I'm really sorry for any pain that you had. I really thought that Takis was a family man. I'm like, of course he told you that because he wanted to look good for you because you're clearly a man that has family values. But he lied to you. He lied to me. He lied to a lot of people. And he was just like, okay, I get it. He's like, look, I'm really sorry for everything, but I need to go. I'm like, all right, fuck off, you old man. He leaves. I'm still looking for Jordan. I'm walking around this place. I'm like, where is this man? All right, maybe I'll just call an Uber and leave because I'm texting him and I don't know where he is. While I'm looking for him, Dino sends me a text and he's like, look, I just wanted to let you know that we found Takis. He's at home now sleeping. He's totally fine, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I did not ask for this update, but like, great. I just like don't even respond. I am so pissed at him now because he is buying other bitches diamonds while being married to me. And those flowers that he had sent on my birthday to someone in New York clearly was for that person. So the fact that this man was trying to guilt me saying that like I needed too much time from him. Meanwhile, he has the time to have like hoes in different area codes is baffling. This man used to tell me that he could not multitask, but clearly that is not the case. Clearly when I would ask him to take care of the dogs, wash the dishes, and watch the laundry, and he was saying that that was too much for him, he had the ability because he was juggling whole ass human women while he was being married to me, right? So I'm like, oh my God, where is Jordan? Running around looking for him. I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna leave because I don't know where he is. I'll thank him for being like so kind to me and for being like a lovely date, but maybe he got caught up with someone. I'm walking out, right? And when you walk out of the restaurant/hotel, on the right side, there's like a little alleyway. I call my Uber. I'm out there. I text Jordan. I'm like, hey, I called an Uber because like I just need to go home. I had a really unfortunate run-in with the New York office for Taki's job, and I just need to get out of here. I'm walking and I hear someone laughing in the alleyway. I look in the alleyway and what do I see? I see a bow tie, skinny jeans, and a button-up making out with another woman. Now, Jordan and I were not dating, right? He doesn't have anything that he owes me, but I went there with him as his date. He was in the alleyway making out with this leggy ass blonde girl while on a date with me. I didn't even want to be at this party. I'm at this party with a bunch of people that know Takis, and I'm there alone looking stupid. I'm like, wow, no man can be trusted, especially not these damn Greeks right here, okay? Now, if you are a Greek man, I'm not saying all of you, but at this time, the ones that were in my life were not great, okay? I'm not saying this for all Greece, because I do love Greece. I love sperikopita. I love the food, and I definitely love my Greek girlfriends. Y'all are amazing. These Greek men that were in my life at that time were shady. All men in my life at that time were shady. And I look in and I just laughed. I was just like, wow, like I really can't have any nice things. So I took a picture of him. I got into my Uber. As soon as I get home, I get a call from him. And he's like, a copy move, where were you? I'm like, oh, hey, Jordan. I decided to leave. And he's like, oh, what was your run-in with Stavi? Like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't worry about it. And he's like, okay, well, I was hoping that you would come over to my house after for a little nightcap. I want to like get to know you more. And I said, I didn't really think you wanted me to because you were kind of busy. And he's like, what do you mean busy? And then I just hung up on him and I sent him that text. And I was like, you were busy doing this. Good to see that you have your priorities where it is. Now, I know that you don't owe me anything, but it is kind of in poor taste to show up with one date and then go and canoodle with another one while you're there. He's calling me frantically. Like, I can explain. And I'm like, I don't even care. So I just block him. I'm like, I need all these men to just get away from me and just be done, right? I'm so tired. I'm like, let me just take my shoes off. Let me just like relax. Let all these men get away from me. Let me just focus on myself. I sit down on the couch with my dogs, and Baloo, my big brown one, is just laying in my lap. And I just sat there and I just cried because I was like, I'm so done and tired of crying over men. Now, I wasn't crying over Jordan, but it was like the disappointment of, oh, someone's being nice to me. But wait, no, he's also a scumbag. And then also the finding out that Takis was not just unfaithful in the bedroom, but he was unfaithful with our finances. The finances that I also contributed to, the finances that I helped him get because of the fact that I helped him stay in the country and get the job and all these things. All these things, right? I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just sitting on the couch. I call my mom. And my mom's like, hey, you know, what's going on? Because my dad cheated on my mom, on top of the many reasons that he was not a good father growing up. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back with my mother, was the multiple cheating and the gambling and all this stuff. And I was like, how did you get over dad's cheating? Like, how did you get through that divorce? And she said to me, she said, I did not have any other choice but to survive because I had 2 kids. And so there was no option to break down. I couldn't afford to cry or feel bad for myself. I just had to take action because I understood that it wasn't just me. I had 2 other kids that I needed to look after, and that the only way through was forward and up. And she said that to me, and I was just like, yeah, like, what am I doing? The only option I have is up and to survive. And I have 2 dogs, and I'm going to figure it out. And she was like, look, women are so strong. If you never have the mindset that there isn't an option to pull through or to survive, your mind will go into overdrive and you'll just pull it off. And that is something that I've taken with me so much in my life. And just from the way that I grew up and all the trauma I had as a child and everything that I dealt with, I realized that that was something that my mom had instilled in me, like through everything that she'd been through. And then now into my experiences with talkies, was like, oh, I will figure it out because I don't have another choice. And I feel like as women, that's something that we're very good at, because we are like, oh, I don't have a choice but to push forward. And so that's what I did. That day I was like, I'm done putting my energy onto talkies. We've taken his job away. We've cut up his clothes. We've drained his account. We've done all the things. I don't need to find any more information about his infidelities. I know about it. I don't need to focus my energy on what he's doing and is he spiraling about me and knowing that I hope he's sad, right? I need to focus my energy on me and finding a new place, making sure my finances are in order, making sure that I can get the separation and the divorce and make sure that I get the sort of alimony that I am owed and all that, get his name off the lease, figure out the dogs. It is time for Kat to go into overdrive and just focus 100% on me and let Talkies do what Talkies is going to do. As I'm saying this, I get a text from Talkies. He was like, hey, I heard that you helped find me and I wanted to say thank you. And I was wondering if we could talk this week. So, episode 25, guys. What does Talkies want now? And I am now stepping into my bad bitch era and fully coming into the Kat era. Where do I move to next? And all that jazz. I love you and I see you. And if you have been through this, my heart is with you and I got you, babes. But you will get through it because I did too. Love and see you. Big hug, big kiss.